In this video, I'm going to discuss about the role of chromosome in sex determination. So whether an organism is male or female, it is determined by the chromosomes. Okay, so we are going to discuss about sex determination with the help of chromosomes. Now, there is a very basic concept which you must have read in your previous class about the type of chromosomes. Okay, now when we talk about humans, let's take an example of chromosomes. We have got, as all of you know, that we have got uh, almost we have got 46 chromosomes. Okay, and these 46 chromosomes are in 23 pairs. Okay, and these 23 pairs actually consist of, okay, if you will see it like this, you will see that it consists of 22 autosomes. That means these chromosomes do not uh, define the, or you can say that they do not help in determination of sex of an organism, whether an organism is male or female. But we have one pair of chromosome. Okay, 22 pair and one pair. So this one pair of chromosome is responsible for the type of sex a person is having, whether that person is, or that individual is male or female, is determined by this one pair of chromosome. Okay, so these 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as autosomes, whereas this one pair is known as sex chromosome. Okay, so this is a basic concept which all of you must be knowing. So let's revise it or recall it once again. The chromosomes that are involved in sex determination are called sex chromosomes or allosomes. Okay, they include, we know that the chromosomes of sex chromosomes are X and Y. Okay, in females we have got XX chromosome, and in males we have got XY chromosome. Okay, now the chromosomes which are having no role in determination of sex in organism are known as autosomes. Okay, so number of autosome, if we take example of humans, number of autosome is same, that is 22 pair will be present in males, and similarly 22 pairs will be present in females. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Here you can see that all chromosomes are present. Okay, and all of them are autosomes except this one, except this one. These are sex chromosome. So X and Y chromosome is there. So we have got total, if you will look at this autosome, we have got 22, total 22 pairs of chromosome. The number is 22. If you will start counting these pairs, it will be 22, and only one pair helps in determination of sex, so we call them sex chromosomes. Okay, so this is a basic concept which you must be knowing. But before that, it was you can say it was a puzzle, that how we determine any organism as male or female. So a scientist, Henking, in 1891, he worked on some insects, and actually he was doing his studies on the basis of, he was doing his studies on the process that is spermatogenesis. So he was at that time working on spermatogenesis in some insects. Okay, and he observed that the 50% of sperms received a structure. Okay, it is written as nuclear structure. Okay, but we are writing it as nuclear structure because at that time it was not clear what that structure is, so they called it as a nuclear structure. Okay, so this is nuclear structure which was present in 50% of the sperms. After spermatogenesis, another 50% sperm did not receive this structure. So he observed that during the formation of sperms or male gamete, the insects are having 50% of sperm. Okay, 50% of sperms were having this, some structure was there. It was not known what is that structure, but other 50% of gametes were not having that structure. Okay, so Henking called this structure as X body. So whatever structure was observed, जो भी स्ट्रक्चर उन्होंने ऑब्जर्व किया उस समय, उसे उन्होंने एक्स बॉडी कहा. ठीक है, तो जो न्यूक्लियर स्ट्रक्चर उनको पता नहीं था वो गेमीट्स में क्या है वो स्ट्रक्चर इंसेक्ट्स में, दैट वाज नोन एज एक्स बॉडी. एंड नाउ वी कॉल इट एज, later on more microscopic studies were done, and on the basis of that it was called as X chromosome. Okay, now when we talk about mechanism of sex determination, so further studies as well as work was done by many scientists, and they observed that there is a mechanism of sex determination in different organism. Okay, so if you will look at this mechanism, you will find that we have got some organism have got XX XO type of sex determination, some have XX XY type of sex determination, and some have got ZZ ZW type of sex determination. So we are going to study about all three in this. Okay, so first one is found in insects like grasshopper. Second one is found in humans as well as fruit fly, that is Drosophila melanogaster. And third one is specially present in birds, that is ZZ ZW type of sex determination. So why we call it so, let's discuss about this. Now when we talk about XX XO mechanism, okay, in this type of sex determination, which is mostly found in insects, like let's take example of this grasshopper. In males, gametes have, there are some gametes which are having X chromosome, whereas half of the gametes are without this X chromosome. Okay, so we call it XO. Okay, because those which are having X chromosome in their gametes, that is called as, because half are having X and half are not having any X structure, so we call it XO type of sex determination. Okay, because these two are different, X and O, so we call it heterogametic. That means this male will form two types of gametes. Half will have X chromosomes, but half is not going to have any type of chromosomes. Okay, so males are, you can say that here males are heterogametic. That means they have the capability to produce two types of gametes. Whereas if you will look at females, females are homogametic. Homogametic here means they have got XX, okay, chromosomes in females. So all gametes which will be formed will be having X chromosome. All gametes will have X chromosome. Okay, so example is insects. If you will take example, you will see grasshopper is a very good example for this. Okay, here you can just remember this, that in males as well as in females, okay, in males as well as in females, if you will look at this, in male you will get, males have got 22 autosomes plus XO, because they have got only single X chromosome, so it belongs to male. If it is having female is having 22 autosomes as well as XX, if XX is present in any organism, in insects, that means like grasshopper, they are females. Okay, so this is the sex determination for male and female in insects, and this type of sex determination is known as XO mechanism. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, sex determination, that is XX and XY mechanism, or XX and XY sex determination, type of sex determination. Here it is very clear that it is found in humans as well as Drosophila. Males in humans are heterogametic, that means they can produce X and Y, two types of gametes, X and Y. whereas females are homogametic because they have got XX chromosome. So all gametes will get X chromosome. Okay, so this is very clear. So here also you can see that chromosomes are shown. So here it is very clearly shown that males are having XY chromosomes and females are having XX chromosome. In Drosophila melanogaster also same type of sex determination is present, where males are having XY and females are having XX type of chromosomes. Okay. Now, in when we talk about birds, in birds there is a difference. Difference is that they have got ZZ-ZW type of sex determination mechanism. It means that here males are okay. पहले हम लोगों ने देखा था कि जो मेल्स हैं स्पेशली बाकी सब में जो मेल्स थे वो सारे हेट्रोगेमेटिक थे. जैसे ह्यूमंस की आप अगर एग्जांपल लोगे तो इन ह्यूमंस दे हैव गॉट XY क्रोमोसोम, सो वी कॉल देम हेट्रोगेमेटिक. ओके, बट बर्ड्स इंसेक्ट्स में भी वही था. बट अगर आप बर्ड्स में देखोगे तो बर्ड्स में जो मेल्स हैं वो होमोगेमेटिक हैं because they have ZZ. Their chromosomes are signified as ZZ. Okay, so obviously they will be homogametic. That means they will produce all gametes will have Z chromosome. Okay, whereas females can have two types of chromosome, Z and W. Okay, so here females are heterogametic. बाकी की केसेस में हमने पढ़ा था मेल्स आर हेट्रोगेमेटिक एंड फीमेल्स आर होमोगेमेटिक. लेकिन बर्ड्स की केस में ये ऑपोजिट होता है. मेल होमोगेमेटिक होते हैं विच इज़ ZZ एंड फीमेल इज़ हेट्रोगेमेटिक. ओके, सो these are the three types of sex determination mechanism. Now there is again there are two terms. One is male heterogamety. Okay, one is male heterogamety and the other one is female heterogamety. So usually the questions are asked that give example of male heterogamety. So you have to explain it by taking the example of insects, which is XX and XO, because males in insects have produces two types of gametes. Half 50% will have, this is XO. So 50% will produce, 50% of gametes will have X chromosome, but the other 50% will not have this X structure. So we call it XO. Whereas if you will look at humans, again we have got XY. So males are heterogametic here in Drosophila as well as humans, because they have got, males have got XY and they can make or they can produce two types of gametes. 50% will have X chromosome and the other 50% will have Y chromosome. Okay, but in if you will take example of female heterogamety, you know that example is bird. Okay, because they show ZZ-ZW type of mechanism. Okay, where males are homogametic whereas females are heterogametic, as they can produce two types of gametes, Z and W. Okay, so this can be asked in exam. Now you know that in if you will look at sex determination in humans, I'm not going to discuss about it because this you have already read in your previous class also, in 10th class also. Here you can see fathers, if father is having X and Y and mother is having XX. So if you will look at the probability, if two gametes fuse together, okay, let's do a brief description for this. If any two gametes fuses, like X fuses with the X, so it will give rise to a daughter that is having XX chromosome. If X fuses with Y, then it forms son, okay, male having XY chromosome. So we can say that humans have got, you know that humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes. So humans के पास 23 पेयर होते हैं chromosomes के, जिसमें से 22 pairs of chromosomes 22 pairs जो होते हैं वो autosomes के होते हैं और 1 pair जो होते हैं उनको हम कहते हैं sex chromosomes. Okay, In females, sex chromosome can be XX, and in males they will be XY. Okay, so here you can see very clearly written 44A. Here means that means you can you know that autosomes, and XX is for female. Okay, now I hope it is clear. It is quite easy. Now when we talk about humans sex determination, during spermatogenesis males produces two types of gametes. We know that males are heterogametic. That means they have got two types of, they have got X and Y chromosome. So obviously 50% they have the capability to produce two types of gametes. 50% will have X chromosome and other 50% will have Y chromosome. So these are heterogametic, whereas females can produce only X chromosomes. That means all gametes are similar, having X chromosome. So it is quite easy. Now when we talk about this, you know that it is only the sperm which can decide whether the offspring will be male or female. That means Y chromosome, which comes from father or male, okay, it will fuse with which gamete, that will decide whether the offspring will be male or female. If Y fuses with the X chromosome, that will be a male. If X chromosome again fuses with the X chromosome, then again it will, the probability is of female. Okay, so the probability of having a female child depends on the sperm having Y chromosome. Okay, now let's look at a very different type of sex determination which is found in honeybee. अगर आप हनी बी में देखोगे तो आपको, अगर उनको उनमें अगर ध्यान से आप देखोगे, यू विल फाइंड, दिस इज़ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, you will find queens, you will find drones, okay, and you will find workers. Okay, so if you, we will look at the individuals found amongst honeybees, you will find all three types of individuals. Okay, now the sex determination which is found in honeybee, okay, it is based upon number of sets of chromosome an individual receives. यानी कोई एक हनी बी है जिसको कौन सा सेट क्रोमोसोम को उसका मिलता है, उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि वो क्वीन है या ड्रोन है, ओके, या वर्कर है. ओके, सो हियर द फर्टिलाइज्ड एग डेवलप्स एज अ फीमेल क्वीन और वर्कर. जो फर्टिलाइज्ड एग होता है वो हमेशा आगे चलकर क्वीन या वर्कर बनता है. लेकिन जो अनफर्टिलाइज्ड है, ओके, विच एवर इज अनफर्टिलाइज्ड, it will form, fertilized egg will always form a queen or worker, but unfertilized eggs will always form drone, male drone, that too male drone. Okay, so queen or workers are females, whereas drones are, all drones are males. So these are males. Okay, so when any unfertilized egg develops into a male, then we call this process as parthenogenesis. Okay, so now let's look at this chart. If you will look at this chart, you will find, see, the parents, every female, they have got a set of chromosome, and we call them as diploid. Okay, females are mostly diploid, so they produce 32 chromosomes. Okay, so females before undergoing you can say fertilization, they produce gametes. Okay, so obviously number will become half, 32, and then the number halves and become 16. Okay, and if these gets these gametes, okay, these are gametes, or you can say these are unfertilized eggs. If they develop directly without fertilization, okay, into a male, okay, if they develop into a male drone. Okay, similarly if you will look at male have got 16 chromosomes. Okay, After mitosis, obviously the number of chromosome will remain same because it is not meiosis, it is mitosis. And if this fuses with this, okay, 16 plus 16, that means male gamete as well as female gamete, when fuses, it gives rise to a female having 32 chromosomes. Okay, so when we talk about sex determination in honeybees, we call them as females are diploid having 32 chromosomes and males are haploid having 16 chromosomes. Okay, so males यहाँ haploids हैं और फीमेल्स जो हैं वो डिप्लॉयड होते हैं, इसीलिए इस सेक्स डिटर्मिनेशन को हम हैप्लोडिप्लॉयड सेक्स डिटर्मिनेशन कहते हैं. ठीक है, और द मेल्स प्रोड्यूसेस स्पर्म्स बाय माइटोसिस. सो दैट्स वाई जो स्पर्म्स का प्रोडक्शन है या गैमीट्स का प्रोडक्शन है वो माइटोसिस के थ्रू होता है, इसीलिए हम कहते हैं दे डू नॉट हैव फादर. क्योंकि मेल्स का माइटोसिस के थ्रू हो रहा है तो उनके फादर नहीं है, दस कैन नॉट हैव सन्स, इसीलिए सन्स नहीं हो सकते, बट हैव ग्रैंड फादर एंड कैन हैव ग्रैंड सन्स. ठीक है, गैमीट्स फ्यूज करके फीमेल्स को बना सकते हैं, सो दे कैन हैव ग्रैंड सन्स. ओके, सो आई एम रिपीटिंग इट वंस अगेन. दिस सेक्स डिटर्मिनेशन इन हनी बी इज नोन एज haplodiploid type of sex determination. Okay, here if you will look at the honeybee, the structure or the individuals present in amongst honeybee are queen, drone and workers. Okay, so they have got queen, drone and workers. If you will look at these, okay, if you will look at these workers or queen, you will find there is a difference. Fertilized egg, see, queens are diploid. okay, यहाँ पर आप देखो queens diploid है, that means इसके पास कितने 32 chromosomes हैं. drones are haploid, these are male, so they have got 16 chromosomes. okay, now if a queen bee produces gametes, if this queen bee produces gametes, okay, gametes will be ovum, and if ovum develops without fertilization, यानी unfertilized eggs अगर develop होते हैं तो वो क्या बनाते हैं, drones को बनाते हैं. और क्योंकि वो unfertilized eggs थे, so eggs were having 16 chromosomes, so they will form haploid drones. okay, if you will look at this queen, if queen bee gametes, okay, fuses with, if it fuses with, let's look at it again. If the queen bee's gametes fuses with the drone, okay, if it fuses with the drone, so it will give rise to workers. Workers are female. okay, so here 16 plus 16 gametes, ये gametes हैं, 16 plus 16 will give rise to 32 chromosomes, so they are workers. okay, so they are workers. So in this way we can understand that fertilized eggs develops as a female and unfertilized egg always develops as a male drone. okay, so when we talk about females are queen as well as queen or worker, whereas male is drone. okay, so that's why we call them as haplodiploid type of sex determination. okay, so here you can see parents are there. Parents, female, for example, if you will take example of female queen, they will produce gametes by meiosis. okay, male also produces gametes but through mitosis. okay, if fusion takes place between these two gametes, then it gives rise to a female. female queen भी हो सकती है और female worker भी हो सकती है. okay, but if unfertilized eggs develops, then these unfertilized eggs will give rise to a male, so that male will be a drone. This is known as sex determination, haplodiploid type of sex determination. okay, so mostly this question is asked why we call the system as haplodiploid type of sex determination. okay, so it should be clear. okay, now moving on, let's move on to the next part, that is mutation. Okay, mutation is a very important term because mutation causes variation. Okay, so let's discuss about what is the meaning of mutation. It is a sudden heritable change occurring in a DNA sequence. Now, first important thing is it is a sudden, it comes suddenly, and it is a heritable change. It means it can be inherited to coming generation. And where is this change taking place? DNA sequence. Okay, and this change in the DNA sequence causes change in the genotype, and obviously genotype change will result in the change in phenotype of an organism. Okay, so always remember that the type of variation which takes place in any organism is because of two reasons. One is recombination. जो भी हम variations organisms में देखते हैं वो या तो recombination की वजह से आते हैं या फिर mutation की वजह से. Okay, so let's read it once again. It is a sudden mutation, is a sudden heritable change. That means this change can be inherited, and it takes place in the DNA sequence. Okay, and because of these changes there is a change in genotype of the organism. Obviously if there is a change in genotype there will be change in phenotype. Now if you will look at mutation, we have got two types of mutation: point mutation and frame shift mutation. Okay, now let's move on to the point mutation first. Point mutation means, if you remember the DNA sequence. Okay, DNA sequence, for example, this is the DNA sequence. It is T, these are nitrogenous bases, T, A, C, T, G, C, A, G, G, like this. Okay, if instead of T the nitrogenous base changes to C, that is cytosine, thymine is replaced by cytosine. That means change has taken place in at only one point. एक ही point पर change हुआ है. ओके, यानी सिंगल बेस का चेंज आया है. ठीक है, सो वी कॉल दिस इज एज पॉइंट म्यूटेशन. ओके, इट इज़ अ म्यूटेशन ड्यू टू चेंज इन सिंगल बेस. यहाँ थाइमिन को किसने रिप्लेस कर दिया है? साइटोसिन को. तो जब इस तरह के कोई चेंजेस आते हैं तो दिस इज नोन एज पॉइंट म्यूटेशन. एंड वेरी गुड एग्जांपल इज सिकल सेल anemia. Okay, so point mutations are very important, and it causes different disorders also. We will discuss it later. Okay, now always remember that why mutation affects the genotype and as well as phenotype. You know that DNA. Okay, if just let's discuss it like this. If we discuss if you remember DNA, that means gene is a DNA. Okay, this gives rise to mRNA, and mRNA will give rise to a specific protein or enzyme. Okay, if there is any change in DNA will change protein also, the type of protein produced. अगर जीन या डीएनए के सीक्वेंस में कोई भी चेंज आता है तो प्रोटीन भी डिफरेंट फॉर्म होगा. अगर प्रोटीन डिफरेंट फॉर्म होगा तो जो भी रिएक्शन उसको कैटलाइज करना है या जो भी उसका पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन है वो नहीं कर सकता, एंड दिस विल कॉज अ पर्टिकुलर डिसऑर्डर. ओके, so point mutation is nothing but single base pair change. Now let's move on to another type of mutation which is known as frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation simple means, okay, let's let us understand it first. If you will look at let's see it through words. Okay, if you will look at this, you can see a normal DNA sequence is BEAST, BEAST. Okay, in substitution what happens, these letters are representing nitrogenous bases. ये जो आप imagine करो कि जो letters हैं ये actually nitrogenous bases हैं. अगर हमने B को, अगर इसमें से B replace हो जाता है यानी B की जगह F आ जाता है. ओके, तो अगर हम किसी नाइट्रोजनस बेस को हटाकर किसी दूसरे नाइट्रोजनस बेस को रख देते हैं, सो वी कॉल इट सब्सटीट्यूशन. ओके, And if in the center, if we again change this, you can see E is already there, but we have inserted another nitrogenous base. So this whole word has changed, BREAST. Okay, deletion means when a single nitrogenous base gets deleted. तो इसमें पहले A था, A delete हो गया, तो the spelling has again changed, BEST. Then again inversion. Inversion means change of place. Delete नहीं हुआ, substitute नहीं हुआ, लेकिन change हो गए हैं places. So BEATS, पहले ST था, here you can see ये ST था, बाद में वो TS हो गया. So frame shift mutation can occur due to different reasons. Okay, if substitution is taking place, if insertion of nitrogenous base is taking place, if deletion of nitrogenous base is taking place, or inversion of nitrogenous base is taking place, then it causes frame shift mutation. Okay, now a very simple thing which I am going to tell you here is that all the nitrogenous bases, they are present in triplets. Okay, we read them in triplets. Okay, so here you can see it here very clearly. If you will look at this reading frame, all of them are arranged in triplets, CAT, 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 like this. Okay, if CAT, like here you can see, if G is inserted here, then then there is a shift of frame. That means CAT, then we will read it as GAT, then again we will read it as CAT. Okay, so here you can see that because of a point mutation, the whole frame has shifted. Similarly, in any case, if there is any substitution, insertion, deletion, or inversion, whole frame will shift. Okay, so it will automatically shift to 333. Okay, 333 में वो shift हो जाएगा. Clear? So this is called as, and this causes frame shift mutation, again causes change of DNA sequence. DNA sequence causes change in the type of protein form, and they can cause different type of disorders. Okay, now if there is a deletion or insertion of a DNA segment, okay, if there is a chromosome, if this is a chromosome, if this whole part gets deleted, okay, so that means it causes a chromosomal abnormality. Okay, we will discuss about it later. And it is believed that chromosomal aberrations causes cancer cells, formation of cancer cells. Now when we are talking about mutation, change in DNA sequence, it is caused by certain agents. Okay, and these agents are known as mutagens. So the agents that induce mutation, ऐसे agents जो mutation को cause करते हैं, उन्हें mutagens कहते हैं. Mute means mutations, gens means agents. Okay, so types of mutagens can be physical mutagens, they can be chemical mutagens, like UV radiations, alpha, beta, gamma rays, X-rays. These are known as physical mutagens. And chemical mutagens are mustard gas, phenol, formalin, acetic acid, formic acid. Like all these are chemical agents which can cause mutation or change in DNA sequence, or you can say alteration or DNA sequence. Okay, so this was about mutation as well as sex determination. Thank you.